You put everything into it, but then you lose balance and you're just kind of off, and everything is so defined on a win or loss that like it's everything. I remember like losing a really, really important game. And I remember at the time, like saying to Wash, she's like, and I'm like, I don't want to wake up. We actually lost to USC. We lost to Texas. We were in our third straight national championship and lost in the Rose Bowl national championship. Vince Young couldn't tackle him. And I'm like, I don't want to wake up tomorrow. She's like, what is wrong with you? We had one kid at the time, Landry. And she's like, you have a kid. Like, you have a whole life. Like, we lost the game, third straight national championship. How long is it going to time? But now that I look back, I'm like, okay, he was so strict on everything, kind of like in a parent way, like with his team, with the players, the coaches, like nothing changed. We won a national championship, and there's a 7:30 staff meeting the next morning. I'm like, what are we meeting on at 7:30 the next morning? He's like, we're behind. Because we won the championship, everybody else was recruiting and we're behind. And I was like, well, what are we doing? But now I look back and be like, that's why he is what he is. That's why he was so great, because it was like the standard never changed no matter what. And then that took me some time to understand too, like when we were winning and playing really well and coaching really well, he was harder on you because he didn't want you to have relief syndrome. Like, oh man, we've made it. And I didn't really understand that. Would he call it that relief syndrome? I saw he was on the pivot like a month ago, and I listened to it, my son Knox, and he talked about it in there. He'd never explained it to us, but it was interesting to hear. And he said, most people are born with a relief syndrome. He wasn't. He just always had this way of thinking like, hey, you never relax. Like, but most people are. So he went above and beyond to make sure people didn't have that. Like, we'd win a game and then he comes in and just like rips us. Yeah. And we're like, man, we played great. Like, coach, great. That was because he was guarding against that, because he knew that could happen.
Dang.
Yeah.
He wasn't letting anything be a possibility.
When I left, we'd won 26 straight games. So I hadn't had many losses, but I do remember the 3 losses that we had over the 3 years. Like, he actually, after those, was calm. Like, that's when we didn't get ripped, because he's like, they're going to get ripped anyway. I don't need to, like I need to, when they're feeling good about themselves, bring them down. So I didn't really understand that at first. And now I look back going, man, there's a reason he's the greatest.
Wow. Yeah. Do you regard him as the greatest? Yeah,
I do. I think because, the Bear Bryants, the like legends back then, no offense, they had like unlimited scholarships. Coach Saban did it in an era where there were reduced scholarship numbers. He also did an era when you're losing coaches left and right. He lost so many assistant coaches and he just kept winning. And I don't think anybody will ever be able to do that again. And he couldn't even do that again the way that it's going anyway. Right. And now this, with the money part and all that stuff, that's like evening things out, that people can't stack the teams like he did. Because now your second team and third teams, maybe before where they had to sit there and wait, they couldn't leave back then. Now they leave. So you lose your backups because someone gives them more money.
But how is he able to convince players to sit there, be just as good and sit second or third position? That's tough, I feel like.
Yeah. Well, that's what I'm saying. Part of his time, they couldn't leave yet.
Oh,
you couldn't transfer. Now you can transfer twice a year. So he still was able at the end to convince some guys to stay, but he started losing back, so the teams weren't as deep.
Did he have to recruit the whole time, or at a certain point did the acumen of their coach, of their winning, just be the recruiter for him, do you think?
That helped a lot, but he never changed. That was him. Like, there was no relief. It never changed. Like, he recruited every day, no matter what. And he was nonstop and he's relentless. People always say, okay, well, why did he win so many championships? Why was he?
You just recognize it.
And I'm also recognizing it to say, I don't believe long-term that's good for the kids. So this has been great for players to make some money, but it's so much money and it's so much focus on the money that then it's like, okay, well then what's next? If I were getting the money when I'm 18, then what?
Right.
You've seen this all the time. People get too much too early, and then what? They crash. So
crash out.
Yes. And I feel like we're creating a lot of that in this. And now a kid's sitting there listening to his parents at, and they want to know the money. Like, so what's the kid supposed to want to know?
Yeah, it's crazy. I agree. Yeah, it's bonkers, dude. If I'd have had some money, I'd have fucking left school the second you gave me that check. I'd have driven across country, got me some damn dope, boy.
But I'm sure at that time you thought, man, if I just had $1 million, man, I'd have no problems.
Yeah.
Yeah. Then life would be great. I heard all the time with these players, if I just get money, man. Players, I heard from adults, if I get money, man, all my problems, then I'll be good. Okay. We'll see.
We'll see.
Now I go in the homes and recruiting over all these years. I see the most problems in the families with the most money. Most money, most success. And then I don't feel any warmth in that room. I don't feel the connection with the kids. Like, and then I'll go to a house here in Mississippi or Louisiana, you know, and there'll be 10 people living in this 2-bedroom house. And you just feel like the warmth and like the closeness and everything. And they ain't got hardly anything financially, but then they have this love and this family. And I just done this for a long time, and I see it usually the other way around. The bigger the houses, the more cars, the more money, the more problems. Yeah. Like when you say, okay, how did like the balance of a husband, father, and head coach? Well, I failed at that because as a head coach, like I was a head coach Tennessee, USC, and I was like, that was my higher power, man. I'm the head coach USC. Like,
Yeah.
That's who I am. Not like, oh, I'm a husband, not I'm a father. Like that became my higher power. That was the most important thing to me. And I could feel it because I'd be like, ooh, we'd win. So then like the LA Times Sunday morning, man, Coach Lane Kiffin, you know, like, and like, well, what do you want? And I remember him asking me like, what do you want someday? And I'm like, a statue, like Nick Saban. Because then I made it. Like they built a statue of me because I won so many games and championships.
Yeah.
That's what I want. But I was totally missing it. Because if you ask me that now, what do you want? You know what I want? I want to be a really good dad. I want to be a really good boss, a really good friend, a really good neighbor. The other stuff happens with the wins. That's fine. But I was so focused on that it controlled everything. I just slept at the office all week long because like we had to win. That's all that matters. And
like John Daly used to sleep at a Hooters.
Yeah, that was a little different.
Yeah, that's true.
Very
yeah,
different.
He didn't work there.
It's not like he was, you know, working on chipping at Hooters.
Yeah, that's
it's a
true.
short game.
Yeah, you're right. That's a good point. So I don't know why I said that, but yeah, people sleep at the office.
Yeah. I think John Daly still goes to Hooters for like the John Daly 2-hour like signing special. I love JD, by the way.
Oh,
He's
of course,
awesome.
dude.
He's awesome.
We talk about him every single week. There he is right there, huh?
Yes. Yeah.
Oh, he's got that 2-pack right there. Boy, he's off a couple of honey packs right there. Look at him.
Yeah, that's where I won't comment. Head coach.
Okay.
So anyway, so that's where this failure came in because it was like, okay, if you're going to if this is the most important thing to you, then I like look back and shoot, no wonder like I ended up getting divorced. No wonder that, you know, I ended up having strained relationship with my kids. And then I kind of figured this out later on and started going, okay, wait a second. This is just part of who I am, you know, being a coach. And then I started working on the other areas of my life. Got sober from a lot of things, really. Just not just physical sober, like stop drinking, but like emotionally sober, you know, like, and that's still a constant battle, like working on that, like, and things not making me go way up, way down, like every day. But, and people say, okay, well, what do? You don't drink. Like, what do you do like Thursday night? And I was like, what's replaced that is like amazing, like going to dinner with Landry or watching a movie with her friends. Like, you know, like I just had this shift and it really helped me. And actually I'm a better coach out of it, which you wouldn't think would be like, cause you think, okay, well, if you put everything into it, but then you lose balance and you're just kind of off and everything is so defined on a win or loss that like, it's everything. I remember like losing a really, really important game. And I remember at the time, like saying, why she's like, and I'm like, I don't want to wake up. We actually lost USC. We lost to Texas. We were on our 3rd straight national championship and lost in the Rose Bowl national championship. Vince Young can tackle him. And I'm like, I don't want to wake up tomorrow. She's like, what is wrong with you? We had one kid at the time, Landry. And she's like, you have a kid. Like you have a whole life. Like we lost the game, 3rd straight national championship. How long is it going to take to ever get there again?
Yeah.
But I was just so out of whack on that. Because I mentioned earlier that the ego had gotten so big when I became a head coach and all the money and success and attention that like it just built and like you got to keep feeding it. And so it's really a couple years of, okay, I got really healthy, working out all the time and don't drink, but it was like, okay, but I still was letting people, situations like, man, well, that went my way. So everything's good. Yeah. You know, like, oh, that didn't go that way. We lose that recruit or have an argument with this person and like everything's terrible. And I was like, man, and I had somebody tell me like, just remember the tide goes in and out every day. Like it's going to. And like, do you just get freaked out by that? Or are you just like, hey, the tide came in, tide went out. And so I really try to do that because like, I'll do the yoga, everything's good, man. And then I'll come in here and then this player has this issue, you know, or a kid has this issue, you know, and then it's like, or this doesn't go this way. That, especially like, if you're like me, which I feel like you are from your last answer when somebody doesn't do what you want them to do.
Oh
like, wait, everything would be good, man. If he just wouldn't say that.
Sorry, I don't believe this.
If she does this, if he does that, and they do that, I'll be good.
Yeah.
Well, wait, they don't?
And it never is going to happen. It's just total unrealistic expectations of what I have a lot of times.
Yeah.
And that's one of my biggest things is unrealistic expectations.
Like expecting the tide not to come in.
Yes. Or
that's what it'd be
everybody
like.
to do things exactly I want. Expecting that people know how I want things done after I haven't shared how I want them done. That's my biggest thing. Like expecting somebody to know what I want them to do, but I've never even told them exactly what I want.
Yeah.
And that's a crazy person would think that way. So yeah.
Or I did this.
I'm not doing good.
And then they don't deal. And then they don't act how I want them to act after what I did.
Yeah. Haven't all this shared with you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But there is a major problem that when you become and you're in charge of a company, your head coach, you know, like, and all the people are working for you. So your whole day, they really are doing what you want. And then now in your personal life, outside of it, maybe somebody doesn't do what you want, and then you lose your mind. That's where I was off with the emotional part.
Yeah.
You know, and had to like work on that part.
Yeah. I can't imagine how maybe
happen, you know, in like these major obstacles that seem so horrible at the time, a divorce, firings, maybe you have a health scare, like these things that seem so terrible and they're really not. They just feel like it in the moment and they're going to pass and you're going to actually look back later on and be glad for them. Like my kind of major thing was I got fired as a head coach at USC and like my career is over. Well, if that wouldn't happen, I wouldn't have gotten to work for Nick Saban for 3 years, you know? So like whatever those things are, or
your career's been over like 4 times.
Yeah. That you can do it. And it's actually feels way better than like, let's say you come out, like I came up and got a lot of breaks because my dad and stuff. And so it's like, okay, I got to the top. Okay. Well, that felt good. But then to actually have it torn down and all taken away, some by circumstances, some by your own decisions, and rebuild from the bottom personally and professionally, it feels so much better. It's like, instead of buying the house, you build the house from the beginning. And so just for people that are struggling in whatever one of those areas may be, like you can do it, but don't get overwhelmed. Like it really is one day at a time. Like, hey, just start working out today, you know, or stop drinking today, you know, or start being a better person today. Whatever those areas are.
Yeah, just today.
Just today, man. Because the other stuff's overwhelming. We don't know what's going to happen next week, let alone next month.